Okay, here we go. I'm back with another video, and this time we have a triple unboxing. I'm going to be opening up the iPad Pro, the iPad Pro Smart Keyboard, and this hideously expensive iPad Pro silicone case, which I'll come to in a little bit. Wow, I'm super excited. This is going to be absolutely brilliant. Now, the current iPad I'm using is this is the iPad 4th generation, and it's kind of getting a bit slow, so it's about time to upgrade, I think. Also, the headphone jack isn't working properly, although that doesn't seem to be a problem for Apple because, well, they're rumored to be getting rid of all these headphone jacks anyway. But let's get on with opening everything up. Now, my lights are going crazy, it's so reflective at the moment, but once I get all the wrapping off, you should be able to see things a little bit more clearly. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of the other two things. I'm going to be opening up the iPad Pro first of all, which I can't wait. Let's do this. So I've ordered the 128 gigabyte version with cellular connection, if I can say that word properly. There's all the details there, everything there. So I'm going to open this up and give you my first impressions. And we're going to let the box slide off. Open. Wow. It's open. Of course, it held together with glue. Wow. Great. Well, I mangled that unboxing. So here we go. Wow, this is big. I was kind of expecting it to be big. This is great. Okay, I'm going to come back to this in just one moment. I'll just show you what else is in the box. Power supply, the lightning cable. I've got loads of those, so I probably won't use it. There's the power brick. And inside here we have the SIM ejection tool, iPad Pro information, a couple of stickers as usual, all the same stuff we've seen before. Let's move this out of the way. This is way more interesting. So let's get this wrapping off. Now, in terms of its weight, it is certainly heavier than all the other iPads, and you notice it, but it's quite comfortable to hold in your hand. It's like holding a big clipboard. It's really thin as well, feels really nice. That's quite interesting. The area for the this area here is for the cellular connection to allow the signal to get through. It's actually kind of narrower than it is on other iPads. I'll just do a size comparison. I'll put this on the table here, and let's find the other iPad, my old one. Turn the screen off. In comparison, and it's quite a decent size, bigger. Sorry about the reflection of my lights, but I have to have good lighting for this video, otherwise you won't be able to see much. It won't be as clear. So let's get this turned on. This is super cool. Oh, and I want to look at these speakers as well. I want to test those out. Oh man, this is so cool. Okay, while that's booting up, I'm going to open up one of the other things that I've picked up today. So let's take a look at the smart keyboard. So while that boots up, so here we go. This was about £139 in the UK, and it only covers the front of the iPad Pro. But let's have a look. Okay, so what do we have in the box? This, what is this? This is some instructions about how to use the smart keyboard, how everything folds in place, and how to connect it to the iPad, and some warranty information there. A bit of a peculiar, well, his presentation's a bit weird. Let's get this back in the box. Won't be looking at that ever again. Right, let's get this open. The smart keyboard. Let's put that down to one side. And here we go. So let's get the plastic off of this. Right, here we go. Let's all fold this all out. So here is the smart keyboard. It's not that heavy actually, so you shouldn't add too much weight to your iPad Pro. And you have to, how does it even work? What is this? I don't even know how you fold this. I'm not being dumb, am I? I'm probably being dumb. Okay, let me get the instructions. Let's have a look. Oh, it says hello and holla. Now I have to wait for it to get back to hello. I have to do the German version. Oh no, I can select a language, that's all good. Right, so let's pick a country, set up the language, blah 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 blah. Wants to connect to Wi-Fi. I'm going to sort that out in a moment. Oh, it's got a SIM card in it already, that's pretty cool. Right, so here's the smart connections for the keyboard. So what you have to do is sort of connect the iPad to that, and then it all folds down like that. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot easier to fold up if you actually got the iPad in the keyboard. That's fine. In terms of typing, what's the key? What are the keys like? The key travel's really shallow, but yeah, that's. I mean, it's typable. I like the keys are really nicely spaced apart, and it's a lot easier typing on this size of keyboard for this size of tablet than it is if you were using an iPad Air and trying to type on a keyboard that was made for that product. So actually, it feels quite comfortable, and I reckon you could get quite good note accuracy out of that. And as I say, the key travel is something you really got to get used to because it doesn't move very much at all. So that's cool. Right, I will do more of my first impressions on the iPad in just a moment. Before I get to that, let's unbox the third item that I've picked up today, which is this. This is the silicone case, which will cover the back of the iPad. There's not much to say about this really once I get it open. Right, here you go, you've got a tab at the back, I think. Right. Now this, I think this was about 65 or 69 pounds, which is so expensive. I mean, the silicone cases for the iPads are really good, and this texture here will definitely keep the scratches away from your iPad. But for what it is and the price it is, wow, I mean, it is really expensive. But let's put this all together. Doesn't add too much thickness at all, actually. You get a bit of a ridge, so if you was to accidentally put this face down, it would kind of be protected. So yeah, you can kind of see there in this corner a bit of a ridge. Of course, this side is kept open to connect to the smart keyboard. So when you put all three together, it's much easier that time. You get quite a nice looking setup right there. And I suppose just to close it up. Do I do that? Is that what you do? No, that can't be what you do. There we go. Right, cool. So when you fold everything up, it's pretty thick, but it's not adding too much. It's not terribly heavy. It's lighter than a laptop for sure once you've got everything together. But that, I think, is smart. It is really smart. It's a shame about the price of the case to protect the back, but actually that's very nice indeed. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to restore this iPad, or I'm going to restore a backup to this iPad so I can get using it straight away. I'm not going to put all that on the video, but I'll be back in about 10 seconds with my first impressions of the iPad Pro. Right, I've set up the iPad and it took about 10 to 15 minutes to restore my old iPad settings and everything else to the new iPad and set up Touch ID and Siri and all the other stuff you have to do when you get an iPad. So this is now going to be my first impressions of using the iPad. So I've set up Touch ID, so that should work. Now, one important thing to say is it doesn't have the same Touch ID sensor as the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, which means it hasn't got that same ridiculous lightning speed, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Actually, I have found in the past that the Touch ID on the new iPhone is just a bit too quick, so you can quite comfortably use the home button to just take a quick look at this lock screen and any notifications you have, and you just rest your finger there and it opens everything up. So this is already loaded. It's loaded all my tabs from my other iPad, so this is what we've got here. Now, what I'm noticing, having a look at this, is that it tends to load up the desktop versions of websites. So I do have a mobile version of this website. This is the Tech TV website, and it's loaded up the full desktop version, I suppose, because you've got such a big screen that it works kind of okay. Everything seems really snappy, so that's fantastic. So that's kind of web browsing. A few websites I've brought up seem to load everything up as desktop versions, so that's, you know, it's just like using a laptop in that sense, I suppose. So that's really cool. Now, it's still installing quite a lot of the apps at the moment, so I can't test out anything too dramatic just yet. But let's have a look at, for example, multitasking. Now, of course, with my iPad 4th generation, I never really got to use multitasking, so I'll just swipe from there and swipe down. Now, being a first-time user of multitasking, what I'm quite surprised about, I guess, is that these aren't apps that I've got open. These are all the available apps that support multitasking, so you don't necessarily have to open an app first to be able to multitask, which I think is pretty cool, actually. That's really good. So let's just multitask with something, see how quick it is. Maps, that'll do. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so let's bring that over. Man, this is cool. This is really quick. It's handling both applications really well. Just close that up. Now, obviously I can't test too much. This isn't going to be a full review, but one thing I was really interested in is, well, the speakers. There are now 4 speakers, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom on this iPad. It helps you get a better sense of the stereo-ness, if that's, well, that's not a word, but it helps you get sort of a better sense of left and right channels when you're listening to music, whatever aspect you're holding this, however you're holding this, whether it's in portrait or landscape. So it'll direct music left and right depending on which way you're holding it. So let's just let's play a bit of a video, I suppose, see what it's like. Whoa, okay. That is loud. That is really, really loud. Whoa. That's as loud as a laptop. That's really, really cool. Really cool. Okay, I've got my SoundCloud open here, so just play something from this. Turn it that way. The effect of the audio switching between the speakers is quite subtle actually. You don't really notice it too much, but you kind of know it's there, so that's really cool. That's fantastic. Those speakers are loud, and there's quite a lot more bass on them, I suppose, than compared to previous generations of iPad. That's great. This is just so snappy. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm going to leave it there actually. I want to test this out. I'm not going to provide a full review or anything like that. Not for a couple of months. I'm not one of these reviewers that just buys something and then the next day has a full review up on their YouTube channel. I really want to use this. I want to use some of its apps, and I really want to get used to using it, potentially as a main computing device. That's what I'm really interested in finding out. So that is my triple unboxing of the iPad Pro, the iPad Pro Smart Keyboard, and the iPad Pro Silicon case. I hope you enjoyed that video, something a little bit different for me. I've never done a triple unboxing before. If you liked the video, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another video.